All right, guys, let's take a look at another G-Shock Frogman. When I say another, it's because I've already looked at some digital ones. I've already looked at this new model, but in that rainbow toad one, the super colorful one that's pretty wild. This is the more run-of-the-mill mild one here for sure. There's a couple different colorways. This one has a splash of yellow on it. So big thanks to Bobby Legs for sending this over. I'll put a link to his YouTube channel in the description. Please give him a check and let him know that I sent you. I think that'll be nice. This is the gwf-a1000-1 ACR, whatever. Retail price on this is $800. And I think when they first came out, they were kind of like, I don't know, people were so used to this style frog, the digital one, that they were maybe a little turned off. I think people are starting to warm up to this model because it seems like they're selling okay now. So case size, I mean, there are some subtle differences when it comes to the case size from the old to the new analog one, but they're very close in size. So measurements on this, excluding crown guards, pushers, crowns, all that stuff, if you just measure the case, 47 millimeter. The lug to lug, and I just measured basically from that bolt to that bolt, is 52.5 millimeter. I know, that's a super long lug to lug. It's a big G-Shock, guys. That's the way those things run. 17.5 millimeter thick. That's from this monocoque carbon case back all the way to the top of this metal bezel here, which actually sits just proud of the sapphire crystal. 17.5. If you were to measure in this area here, it's like 30 millimeter-ish, and then the strap tapers down to about 21 millimeter. This guy weighs in at 119 grams. The previous digital basic one weighed in at 116 grams. So kind of weird that this one's heavier, I guess, to me, when the older one actually had a metal screw-down, screw-in case back, whereas this one's all the carbon core guard type material. So I'm not really sure where the weight comes, but it's actually heavier. So let's see. It's multi-band 6, Bluetooth. The Bluetooth, if you use the app, it's going to try to get the time adjusted on the watch from the app on the phone, I think 5 or 6 times per day. But I think if it makes the connection and actually gets the time, it won't try again. It just takes that one time. I'm pretty sure that's the way it's worded. And then the multi-band, that happens usually overnight if it's needed, but it's usually not needed if you're connected to the Bluetooth. Your time is always going to be on. It's using the module 5623, obviously analog dual time module. This watch technically doesn't do as much as some of these digital ones. So I don't know. I was on the fence either way, but reality is I overall prefer the digital one. The analog one is cool. I think you can have a lot more style. It's nice that they're continuing on with the G-Shock Frogman lineup, but I already have my digital one. I don't even feel the need to even buy any more Frogman, to be honest with you. But it is really cool to see this one. Screw down crown, 200 meter water resist, tough solar, in case I didn't mention it. The dual time is down here, so if you hit that, that'll move the hands out of the way, and then you can see the other functions. If we zoom in, I'm not going to go into how to adjust everything, but you can see very big, broad handset, super legible. The motor is super powerful and snaps the seconds hand into place. You don't see any like lag or bounce or anything. It just jumps into place and everything lines up. Your date there in between, basically at the 4:30 mark. And then this sub-dial over here, well, if we move these hands, you can see it better. You can see it's pointing at Sunday. If you hit this mode button down here, now you can go and do other things. So there, ST, that's stopwatch. You can start here. That'll start the chronograph hand. And then you can stop it and reset it. And then your countdown timer. I always like doing the countdown timer because it's kind of funny to see the seconds hand or chronograph hand go backwards, even though it's still keeping time forward. I don't know. It's just kind of fun as a watch geek, I guess. there's the alarm function, and then you can set the alarm. You can see it's actually set to on, so we're going to turn it to off because we don't want to. If you want to have fun with somebody, if they send you in a watch or something like that, or you sell a watch, set the alarm for a weird time and then send it to them. You'll make really good friends with them doing that. Just something to play with. So pretty intuitive watch, really, overall. Like I said, I'm not going to get into all the setting functions and everything like that, but it's even easier if you connect it to your Bluetooth and then get it all set up that way. Otherwise, you can just unscrew this crown here. And the first position, I believe, sets your home time. So like if I go, no, that sets the dual time down there. So you can go forward or backward, and it's going to move it an hour. You can see it adjusting. So you can set that, and then if you pop it out again, then it actually adjusts your time. So you can see the hour hand moving forward or backward. So you don't need to connect it to the Bluetooth. So you could just set it real quick and then forget it and wear it, and it'll be fine. Let's pop it on wrist. There is going to be lume on this, so we'll do a lume shot. And then it has a crazy bright LED light as well. In case you were wondering what I was wearing, I'm still wearing my Orange Monster. Always a joy to wear that. There's a couple things I like about this watch. I like that they didn't do a metal keeper. You can see it just has the plastic keeper. I like that on G-Shocks. I like that it's still the watch head or body of the watch is actually offset up arm if you're wearing it on your left. Frogman for right-handed is not going to be good because you can see it's offset and that's going to be pushed down on your wrist. That's what makes some of these larger G-Shock watches so comfortable for the Frogman lineup, because it's shifted off to the left, so you don't have as much crown dig into your wrist. Yeah, it's still a big, powerful, beastie watch on wrist, but you know, that's the whole style of it. So it feels great on wrist and is still comfortable. Like I could see owning one of these and wearing one of these. I wouldn't do it in the winter though, because it's not going to clear a cuff very good, and I do have to wear a coat or at least a hoodie. So it's just going to be not as comfortable. Now, as you can see with these two here, in my opinion, and if you just look at it, you can kind of see it. The digital models, the watch head or the strap or whatever, everything's shifted more so. So I think it actually wears a little bit better on my left wrist. I could be just biased because this is the one I have. You know what? After putting them on back to back, that new analog one is straight up more comfortable. I'm going to go ahead and call it right now. After putting them on back to back, the analog one is undeniably more comfortable than the digital one. 100%. Interesting. Yeah, it's just more comfortable on wrist. That's a fact. I mean, on my wrist, this watch is more comfortable than this one. Okay, let's kill the lights. We can check the lume, and then we'll hit the crazy bright LED light on this thing. You can see there's plenty of lume on there. It's actually dual lume too. It looks like it's green on the indices, and then the chapter is actually loomed out, and then the hour, minute, and then even the second time zone is actually in like a cool blue, and then the LED just lights up the whole thing. I held down the light button, and I'm pretty sure it just switched my dual time zones. I think it switched my second time zone over to the main. That's funny. I didn't know it did that. Yeah, it switches the clocks. So that's pretty cool. So if you're traveling, that's a pretty slick feature. I might have to pick up one of these after all. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next vid.